Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1, where we are currently sitting at pause screen. Lambo asking for a pause. Maybe he just spilt all that Red Bull that he was drinking all over himself while he was trying, you know, SD his way to victory. But we don't actually have SD coming out. Well, I guess we do have drones on the way. They just haven't been made yet. Oh, drone hotkeys here.
Oh,
for North America.
Well, it is a North American server, so maybe something weird happened. I assume that Lambo doesn't play too much on the North American server, but
probably not.
Hey, man.
Gotta deal with it. All right, well, we have spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, the yellow Zerg player. Give it up for Lambo.
Vroom, vroom. And his opponent in the bottom right corner, representing himself, it is the blue Zerg player, PandaBearMe.
And we already have small little differences in the builds. Now, one thing that I know I've come to understand in ZvZ is, you know, back in Heart of the Swarm and everything, you would have players that would go for spawn pool first versus hatch first, because it's a little bit of a style thing. Doesn't really make a big difference after you get a couple minutes of the game. But my understanding is that hatch first is a pretty good opening in ZvZ if you can get away with it.
Yeah, it's a lot better nowadays, especially because, excuse me, the larva nerf. So getting that larva out is a bit more important from the hatchery. And I think it's a stronger opener than it was in Heart of the Swarm. So, you know, a little bit of a difference, but it's still pretty nice to at least utilize the fact that you got that slight nerf. Set to rest those kind of differences between the two builds. But this was a pretty early pool, by the way. I believe it was.
Zergans are now making their way across the map. I think that it was a 15 or a 16 pool. But either way, I know at least it was a pool first. And Lambo tries to be a little bit sneaky with these Zergans, but PandaBearMe does scout them out with the Overlord.
Really good to actually see that, you know, because it wasn't like he put it down on 17 or anything like that. It was 15, like you said. And having these two lings out, he's going to make 2 additional ones. And this means that it's not going to be that scary anymore. So if you only have 2 lings out, the queens aren't out in time, and then, you know, you lose the 2 lings, or you try to dance them around. But I honestly do not see much happening here with these 4 lings, at least just yet. So,
yeah. I mean, only real small thing that I think could happen is just PandaBearMe has 6 versus 4, and his speed is about 15-20 seconds ahead, so maybe he can get a little bit lucky and catch some of Lambo's Zerglings off guard if they're engaging out in the center of the map, since he is sticking around there. But yeah, it looks like this is going to be a more macro-oriented game than I would actually normally expect on Frozen Temple.
Yeah, and I was even going to say that maybe he used them to kind of scare PandaBearMe and then drone up behind it, but no, that's not going to be the case at all. He's going to drop the 3rd hatchery, and that's going to be for the larva. So he's just going to go ahead, make a bunch of lings so far as the speed is finishing. The Baneling Nest is done for both of them here. So yeah, we should see that kind of dance that you do see in the early mid-game of ZvZ.
Yeah, PandaBearMe actually finds some of these Banelings morphing, and he's going to be able to get at least 2 of them, I think. He may even be able to get a 3rd. I guess he gets the 3rd in the sense that he loses Zerglings for them, but that's still a pretty good trade. Kills off 3 of the Banelings.
Yeah, I definitely see nothing wrong with that, as you do see PandaBearMe microing his Banelings pretty nicely. And yeah, we're going to go into either a ridiculous trade between the 2, or potentially they might just decide to fall back and not actually commit to this kind of play. You know, it happens a lot where you have to be very careful in this stage of the game, because one of those Baneling hits can do so much to you and completely swing things in your favor.
Yeah, a couple more Banelings finishing up over here. PandaBearMe does not only manages to get rid of the Banelings by absorbing them with his own. Still has his Banelings alive. It is now going to the drone line. Is going to be able to get some damage done over here, but Lambo's not done yet with the defense.
No, and a very important thing. Oh my God, Baneling is going to hit those drones, and they're going to go stack up again. How many drones have he? He's lost 11 so far. And remember, he had like a 10 drone lead before that. So droning before that did not end up working out for him, but he's not going to get completely punished for it either.
Yeah, it seems almost like he's starting to get away with it. He did end up losing, I think, 1 or 2 of the queens. Lost 1 of the queens, lost a lot of his own Banelings and everything. But I think that Lambo, he's going to hold. And even though, yeah, he lost a lot of those drones, they're still fairly even-ish.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was that he droned up before it and then took the damage. So like you said, losing the queen means that he's not going to be able to reinforce if PandaBearMe decides to continue with this. It's all about the micro right now, and the Banelings are more important than ever. So, yo, that's a good one.
That was a pretty good hit. And that's going to keep his chances alive over here. Cleans up in the main base. He does have a counterattack prepared down on the south side, but I don't know if he's just too busy to actually manage that, or if he's just not feeling like it's the right time yet. But if not now, then when?
When exactly? I mean, this is life on the line at the moment, so you don't see any real tech coming out of PandaBearMe. I don't even think Lambo decided to either, so it definitely is survival mode for both of them, and I think Lambo is on the losing end of that. So PandaBearMe, is gonna take game number 1. Oh my god.
Really crazy aggressive game after like what started to look off like a much more macro-oriented opening than we're used to.
I think a lot of the times what you will see is Ling Bane wars off of the really early third hatch, and then they go into roaches, the lair, depending on how it goes. Like do you remember back in when Muta versus Muta was the only thing that you did?
Yes.
Right. And then it was always a battle of the third base. So I think it gets dictated by like the damage. Whether if you kill the third base as a Muta going player, you pretty much won the game is how it felt. In this situation, it's just like, okay, how many drones are you actually going to get? And then how much pressure will you put on? And how much more momentum will that actually give you to continue with it? Or be like, okay, I did the damage that I needed to do. I can tech. It's all good. Sometimes you can just go for the throat and just win. And that's exactly what PandaBearMe did. So really good stuff, man.
Yeah, and even I think after like the trades were relatively evenish, and yeah, we mentioned like of course like there was going to be a nice little larva advantage going in PandaBearMe's favor, but it's even, I would argue, the fact that Lambo, because he was the one on the defensive and PandaBearMe was constantly running into the mineral lines and everything with the Banelings, it was just, I think Lambo was also losing a lot of his own mining time, because it's like when you're on the defensive, you're the one whose drones are going to have to like retreat to safety for a little bit. Even if you keep them all alive, you're not mining during that time, and your opponent, their drones are like in first class, you know, seat knocked back, it goes 180.
Protect the package at all costs.
You get champagne, like it's a beautiful life for PandaBearMe's drone in that situation. But yeah, Lambo is like fighting a war right now.
Yeah. And I think it kind of sucks, obviously, because it is the first game and you get a matchup like this, right? Where Lambo probably doesn't know too much about PandaBearMe. I think you stated that earlier.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think that PandaBearMe watches Lambo stream like 24/7. Like, okay, I know I'm going to get him in the first round of this qualifier. But he definitely has a bit more going on for him at the moment right now, you know, than PandaBearMe. So I would love to see that kind of, you know, eye of the tiger. It's like, yo, I gotta take this guy out, because if I can take him out, who's next on my plate, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing against Lambo though. I love Lambo. He's actually one of my favorite Zerg streamers.
Yeah, he is a really awesome guy, and I think I saw there was a resub during the game that I actually want to give a quick shout out to. It was a Isopolix. Hold on.
Oh,
resub
was.
Okay, hold on. I have good. No, that didn't work. I'm like trying to find it.
Dude, I'm trying.
Well, we got Terran Blade who resubscribed for 5 months in a row. Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. So we got Terran Blade. We had Matt D who resubscribed for 15 months in a row. And of course, I think we had a couple more. Epsilix 1. That's the one that I saw. It was 20 months in a row, which is kind of crazy. That's getting pretty high up there.
It's almost 2 years, man.
Yeah. Re-invite. Trying to get an invite to the game.
Let me join off here.
And Anton Kiridian for subscribe for 26 months in a row. So past the 2-year mark and just keeps going. That's insane. Thank you so much. Do apologize, you guys. I do not have Twitch alerts set up. That's just like sort of a thing about my setup. Because I have to like talk to Rifkin and like do a whole thing to get that set up. By the way, join off with me.
Yeah,
okay. But yeah, so I don't have it set up. I will do my best to try and like take a look at things after the games and everything. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the broadcast nonetheless. We're going to be getting ready to hop into game number 2, which is going to be on King Sejong Station. I want to give a huge shout out to a nice username, by the way, in case you guys like that map intro that happened for the last game. All the map intros that I play are a little bit different than the ones that normally Rifkin and Zombie Grub play. Mine are all made by Nice Username, and Nice Username has actually been working on a King Sejong Station opening for me for a little bit, but he doesn't quite have it done, so we have like the King Sejong Station opening. It just doesn't have any units on it, so yeah.
So he has like the map and like everything.
Yeah, it's like everything still
the
shows the map. That's like the primary thing.
Okay, that's all you need.
So we're hopping into that. I'll see you guys in game number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 between these two players in the round of 64 for the IEM Shanghai North American Open qualifiers. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Zerg player sitting up 1-0. Give it up for PandaBearGod.
And on the other side, in the bottom right, he is the yellow Zerg player from Europe. It is Lambo. Beep, beep. I'm a Jeep? No, I'm a Lambo. And he did lose that last game, unfortunately for him. And he's going to have to bring it back on what seems to be a very similar map, at least to the Tau set. But,
yeah, I mean, there are a lot of really cold maps in the map pool. There's a Frozen, there's Frost, there's King Sejong sorry, it's Frozen Temple, it's Frost, and King Sejong Station.
You said Frozen and I couldn't resist.
Yeah. But we do have, yet again, Lambo going for not as early of a pool as I think as last time. Actually going for the hatchery first this time.
Yeah. And I wonder like how much that even really contributed to the outcome of that last game. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Like, I feel like it was too reliant on the micro of both players and the defensive nature. So yeah, I honestly don't think going 15 pool is what lost him the last game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it really did come a lot more down to the micro, because after around the time that you saw them both taking their third expansions, like it looked pretty even for the most part. Not a lot of differences. For the most part, yep. But of course, King Sejong Station also, it's a lot harder to get away with a lot of like real big trickery, I think, in the early game, just because there's really only one way across the map in the early game. You have to go through that sort of center area. It's very easy to get your overlords to that center area to scout out what your opponent is sending across the map. So it really is a lot harder to just do big Zergling floods without your opponent noticing.
Exactly.
But we do have Bailing earlier.
Oh, but look here. Lambo is going for a Roach Warren. He's going to be skipping the Bailing Nest completely. And if PandaBearMe decides to go for that third base once again and then flood with the Lings, it can get really dicey if you don't get your Roaches out in time. So once you get a decent amount of Roaches out, Ling Bane just kind of falls flat, especially if you're not going into lair, because you have no real transition out of it if you're not going to get a quicker lair. So it's going to be up to Lambo, I would say, to deal with this pretty, I don't know how he's going to do it, because he's going for the third too. So he has to defend the third with Roach Lang.
And it's so far away on this map. This map is actually, I feel like this is one of the weirdest maps to go for something like this on, because not only is the third fairly far away from your natural expansion, it's a very long distance to cover. You aren't really going to have queen support at both your natural and your third. But on top of that, there's not exactly an easy like wall off or anything that you can do with the natural. It's such a wide open area.
Yeah, I mean, you see this a lot more on like Dusk Towers if you were to do it, but I do like what Lambo's doing in the sense that he's going straight for the Roaches. He didn't make, oh, actually, he made 11 Lings, by the way. I didn't realize how many he made, but he's not going for the lair. So he's not going to be investing his gas into any tech right now. It's mainly going to be for these units. And I wonder, oh, he's going to lose the third if he's not careful. I was wondering if he was going to go for the defense. Like, just make the Roaches and then shit. He's actually trying to attack, and he's going to lose his third, man.
Yeah, he's actually turning around at this point. I think Lambo is maybe a little bit indecisive over here as he loses the third. His Zerglings are still microing around, and they are staying alive just barely, even with the Banelings starting to threaten them. But, I mean, he did not do an equalizing amount of damage over here.
No, and guess what? PandaBearMe knows exactly what's going on. So what is he gonna do? He drops down a Roach Warren himself, and now he has a third base. He has the larva. He has counterattack potential, which is one of the most important things in these kind of situations. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is that he did not put down any spine crawlers, so he's gonna just try to deal with it with the units. And it's a lot of roaches coming across the map here, Fear Dragon.
Yeah, PandaBearMe is not sending his Zerglings into the natural expansion either to go after drones or try and do anything like that with counterattack. He's just gonna try and fight this army head on, and I think he kind of has to at this point.
He's in a lot of trouble if he doesn't deal with this, right? Like, if it's going to be pure Ling, and he's buying time for roaches, which is great. So I think the third base is supposed to kind of hold it down while these units come out. But guess what? Lambo's not going for that at all. That's a lot of Lings, but they're not going to get as much surface area as they would like to.
This is a beautiful spot. Not only that, but they're also denying mining at the natural expansion. So PandaBearMe trying to transfer those workers over the third, but there are some Zerglings on the right-hand side that are going to make it hard to mine over there as well. Oh man, all of these drones are gonna go down.
Oh, this is so good. He's gonna block the ramp with the roaches and then go into the main. And what is gonna defend here? Absolutely nothing. This is such a good play out of Lambo. Look at the banelings. He has to waste them all, but it might work out temporarily.
I mean, PandaBearMe is already sitting down 8 workers. He still has a third alive, so if he can somehow clean everything up, he may still be able to bounce back from this, and he is going to clean up everything in the main base. He still has a decent number of these Zerglings left over. Can he swing around for a counterattack? Is it going to be effective?
I mean, he can try to do it. The problem is that now there's no third to defend here for Lambo, so all he has to do is worry about defending. He's up by about 7 drones, which is great, and now that third base that he lost earlier, you know, it's not that big of a deal because he has, well, okay, I was going to say that it wasn't a big a deal, but I guess PandaBearMe does still have the third, like you said. It's just the drone count that he can't really utilize, so...
yeah, it's like a wasted third right now. Even the larva, I don't think is super helpful at this point. Well, I guess actually he doesn't have any queen. Well, he has like 1 queen that's not even injecting, so I guess the larva is helping.
And, I mean, it's always good to have more larva, duh, but... when you broke, man,
yeah, you need money to spend it.
Not being able to spend it anywhere, or I guess I don't even know, having a bunch of credits for like Subway, but they don't even have Subway in your region. How about that? There you go.
Dude, I know exactly that feeling. It's like when I graduated from school, there were like a bunch of places. I had like 8. This is like punch cards. I had like 8 of the stamps on like 3 of them, and I'm like, damn it, why didn't I just consolidate these? I could have gotten so many free things, but now I don't even live there anymore. Like, I can't use these. That's kind of like how he feels when he has extra larva. But I think having so many of these Zerglings alive as from the earlier game, I think it actually worked out quite well because he's been able to deny a third for a while. And he's eventually going to be able to get out those drones, just like sneak them in there.
Yep, and remember he also dropped down the Roach Warren, so it wasn't like he decided to skip on it. So yeah, he has a decent amount of roaches at home. And this attack from Lambo, which used to be so scary, not necessarily as scary anymore, as we do have even roach counts, and then it's also the defender's advantage.
I would actually say I'm a little bit worried for Lambo right now. He is rejoining with a bunch of his Zerglings and his Banelings, so I'm less worried, but I was a bit concerned because the Zerglings and the Roaches could have actually done a bit of a flanking maneuver and catch these Roaches for Lambo that were really far out. Not going to happen, though. Lambo tries to charge it over here with the natural expansion. He's got a lot of Lings, he's got a lot of Roaches, and some good positioning. PandaBearMe not exactly getting the best concave at first, and a lot of his roaches very, very far back, not really getting involved in the fight.
Yeah, and the Banelings are such a big threat here for the Lings. Oh, he goes and he takes out those drones in the mineral line, but I mean, the roach count looking pretty good for PandaBearMe, but it's all about the reinforcements right now. PandaBearMe is most likely going to be able to clean this up, but are the reinforcements from Lambo going to be enough?
I mean, PandaBearMe also lost more workers during all of this. I don't think that he's actually going to have the reinforcements to clean everything up.
He might not even clean it up. Oh my, you're right. You're absolutely right. Look at how close that is, but yeah.
Oh, GG. PandaBearMe loses game number 2 to Lambo and gets tied up 1-1.
These games, man. No lair inside. I'm over here like, what do you think?
Like, I think Lambo's probably just tired, and this is probably one of the faster ways to like move on and get a little like. To be entirely frank, if you've been playing the European qualifier and you actually made a decent run in it, you really didn't have much of a break. I could even imagine Kelazor, for example, who's been playing in the C qualifier and the European qualifier and is now playing in the North American one. And he got to the finals for each one of those. I don't even know when he's eaten. Like, I don't know if he's eaten in the past 12 hours. So like, I can understand just wanting to like finish things quickly just so that you get a break soon.
Yeah, I think he was going for that like a laser build where you just go for the roaches and then the lings off of the 3 bases. But he got surprised when those lings came around it and just pretty much took out his third. Like I was saying, a lot of the times you'll see it on maps like Dusk Towers, back when Orbital Shipyard was in the rotation, because you can protect your third a lot easier. And it's just one of the things where you don't expect it. Like you're not going to expect such an aggressive build, at least when they first started doing it. But on King Sejong, dude, when did this map come into the pool? Like a week ago? Just about a week ago?
It's been like I think a few weeks now, but yeah, it's still a much quote unquote newer map.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, quote unquote. I guess you're right.
Legacy of the Void's a different game though. We are going to be hopping into our next map, a map that last week I made the mistake because I kind of was like, you want to go to Invader? I don't think Invader's in the map pool anymore. Like, I haven't seen this in such a long time. I was like, no, it's still in the map pool for your dragon. Like, do you even play this game? I'm like, I do, but I just haven't seen this map in such a long time. All right, we're heading into game number 3, guys. We'll see you guys there on Invader. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 3 between these two players in the round of 64. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, the yellow Zerg player was sitting down 0-1, but brought it back in that last game. Let's see if he can take it with a series 2-1. Give it up for Lambo, the European player.
And his opponent, he lost the last game, but doesn't mean that he's down and out just yet. It is our blue Zerg player from North America, PandaBearMe. And I miss his old clan. He used to have a really cool clan icon, but now he doesn't have one at all.
You don't like the BareMe clan?
I like the clan, but I don't like the icon. There's nothing there. Like, what?
Yeah.
Remember the other one? It was like the panda bear with the American flag. Do you remember that?
Say the panda bear?
It was amazing.
Dude, it was the panda bear.
Huh?
What is it? Like, isn't a panda bear just a panda?
Yeah, like a panda bear, but it had like an American flag behind it. It was beautiful.
That sounds amazing. I don't remember it actually.
He was, oh man, I forget what the name of the clan was, but it was like some like boss or something like that.
I actually really like the players who don't just have like I in one sense I appreciate the players that have like their team name as part of their clan. Their clan is their like team, so then it's easier to keep track of who's on what team and everything, especially when you're casting. But I also really like the players who like they'll have their own clan just for them. And especially barcode players do this. And then they always come up with like the cutest clan tags or like the clan decals.
I'm trying to think of
I think my favorite was the one that Scarlet and a couple others were in. I think it was like Scarlet State and like 3 or 4 others. It was Rip NA, I think.
Rip NA. Yeah. Who else? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm trying to remember who else was in that, but yep, Rip NA. It's pretty Kane
was definitely in it. Man, that's I miss Kane, man. I miss Kane.
Oh. So either way, yeah, we do have a regular kind of build coming out of both players. And you know what, Fair Dragon? Actually, I don't see a third base coming out of PandaBearMe right now, and so he seems to be going for a similar build.
He tried to go for the third. He tried to go for the third, but the interesting thing to me was that he didn't make any Zerglings in the early game. Like, he made 0 Zerglings. Oh, no, sorry, he made 2 Zerglings earlier, but it looks like he lost them, I guess with a scout. So because of that, his drone was sort of delayed, and now his third finally goes up around the time that Lambo's like a decent bit ahead of his.
Yeah, that's actually a really big deal when you're going to go for a Ling Bane Wars. So I think an issue as well is that he is going to be on the defensive. And remember, we were talking about this earlier, how difficult it is to be on the defensive, because if you do get into the natural, then you're going to have to be dancing your drones around. And now imagine doing that and also not having the larva in order to compete with this kind of ridiculous early game in ZvZ.
Wow, really big trades going back over there between the Lings and the Banelings, right? But we don't actually get massive Baneling hits on either side, despite the fact that it looked like we're going to be some big ones. There's a pretty good one. That actually might have brought PandaBearMe into a really big lead right now.
That was really good for PandaBearMe because it allows him to breathe. So now his third is going to kick in, and then he doesn't have to worry about those lings dancing around while the reinforcements arrive. So I think this is actually really good because guess what? The tables have turned, and PandaBearMe is going on the other side of the map, and Lambo has to be on the defensive now.
No money gonna happen in this third. You can see even the queen starting to get at least picked away at. It isn't gonna get killed off, and all of the lings for PandaBearMe gonna be falling.
Yeah, donation draft is back and forth. Like, who's gonna out charity the other? Like donating. Oh my god, that was close.
It's like walking straight into the shredder and just like getting a haircut with it instead.
Yep. She'll give you a nice flat top for sure. I know all about that.
Oh boy. Well, PandaBearMe gets pretty far deep into Lambo's territory. Oh, what?
Oh,
okay.
Again.
That was like a miscontrol on both sides. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Hey, well, you gotta, that's how ZvZ goes. A lot of the times you don't know what's going on, but one thing to note is that Lambo is trying to transition into the roaches, and this is something that you do see a lot of the times where you feel like you are in a decent enough, maybe, I don't know if it's a lead that you feel like you're, or you just feel comfortable, because, those three, or rather the 150 minerals that you put into it means that you have to be very confident in your bailing hits to get the Roach Warren. But when you transition into it, you're actually in a much better position because once you get a decent amount of roaches out, it shuts down the Ling Bane aggression pretty well, or at least allows you to secure your third and allow you to tech.
Yeah. But we do have Roach Warren coming up for PandaBearMe, obviously a lot later than Lambo's, who is already finished up with his, and is already starting up those roaches. So he's going to have a nice little roach advantage during these Ling Bane wars for at least a little bit. PandaBearMe, though, the other thing is, I guess he has saved up a lot of gas, so he can start to just dump that into roaches as soon as that pops.
Yep. Yeah, if you're not going to go for the crazy all-in where you just make a bunch of Banes and try to win, then this is what is beautiful about it. You get your roaches out, and then the roaches allow you to just defend against the lings, and if you even split them up and put them in those kind of nooks and crannies, then yeah, you can get your lair comfortably, and I think we should see that coming out of Lambo next, depending on this next wave of aggression, I guess.
Yeah, I guess sort of interesting, like you were mentioning, we don't really have lair coming out from these players because it's been such a high intensity, like action-packed game. And I think Lambo's mostly going to be scouting around for that as well as the gas geysers right now as he sends in that Zorgling.
Yeah, with 5 overlords coming out of Lambo, I don't think he's going to go for the lair.
Does PandaBearMe only have 1 gas? Like, total?
Yeah.
Even for roach direction?
Yep.
Wow.
That's going to be what it goes down to, and he also dropped the Evo Chamber, so maybe he will, or perhaps he's just gonna like, I don't know right now, Fear Dragon, because I'm a little confused him putting down the Evo Chamber. If he gets a +1, it's gonna kick in a very long time, and he's not gonna have road speed to complement it either. So it's just kind of like the all-in that doesn't stop all-inning, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really know about it either, but it looks like both of these players have kind of had a little bit of breathing space now, as you can definitely see PandaBearMe is starting to drone up quite heavily behind all this. And I guess if you have only 1 gas geyser, that is more drones just mining pure minerals, but he did add on the other extra 2 gas geysers. He knows that as he gets to like the 40, 50-ish drone count, you do need to start getting up more and more roaches. The Zorgons and Banelings not really going to be quite as effective as they were earlier on.
Exactly. And with the 3rd larva kicking in, he's going to be able to just start using that for the roaches, and he has the potential to go and get the gases there too. So yeah, I mean, I do like what Lambo is doing, and what I'm kind of assuming is that it's a very safe version of this roach transition, because if you went for the lair, then it's like, you have 100 minerals that are gonna give you something else for another upgrade, where it be like road speed or something. If you go for the +1, that's gonna kick in a lot earlier, and then go for the lair. So it's like you can make a timing with the +1, and then maybe start to think about what your future late game is gonna be.
Yeah, I think Lambo just got like a kill move instinct right there, because he had the lair about almost halfway done, and then he just canceled it and just decided to like walk across the map and greet PandaBearMe's army. He ended up having to back out, but I feel like maybe he thought to himself like, hey, I can actually win right now, which I think is going to be kind of hard there on pretty even roach counts.
He's going to survive. He needs to survive.
Oh, well, here we go. Big Concave leading in favor of Lambo right now, but I feel like PandaBearMe has still got a decent number of these roaches. He just doesn't have the reinforcements there.
Nope, and guess what? He's going to be getting +1, and this is going to be even scarier right now. And this is the difference between going for the lair or the +1. +1 is going to kick in now. If you have lair kicking in now, that doesn't benefit you in this attack at all because of road speed is going to finish up so much later. +1, that is going to work right now, and I think he should be able to make something happen with it. He could even win the game with it, potentially. And I think that's what he's planning to do.
Yeah, he's already sitting up about 10 roaches. It's a pretty massive advantage, that as well as +1. What is PandaBearMe going to be able to do? He does not have, I guess he has a couple of Zerglings that can maybe soak up some hits, do a little bit for him, but, oh man, things are looking really grim right now for the North American Zerg player.
That it is, and it's on his side of the map, so, I mean, he has a defender's advantage, but I don't even think it's going to be enough, dude.
No.
Dragon. Lambo takes it. 2-1.
He's going to go on to face off versus, I think, another Zerg player, Jon Snow. I think that's how it's going.
I mean, he did pretty good there. You know, he lost the first game and then kind of turned it on.
Yeah. You can't really call it a warm-up game since he's already had more than enough of a warm-up with the European qualifiers earlier today.
True.
But, you know, maybe just getting back into the zone of it, transitioning servers and all that good stuff.
And hotkeys, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet.
Yeah, but he is going to go on to play Jon Snow. We'll find out whether we can hop into that or like if there's Poke Bunny versus Blag going on. I think that's a cool match. We're going to try and find that out, but we're going to have to do a short little break first. So we'll see you guys in about a couple of minutes.